within me, bless his holy name. Bless the Lord, oh my soul. Forget not all his benefits. He forgives all your sin. He heals all your brokenness. He redeems your life from the pit. Crowns you with mercy, crowns you with love. Slow to anger, rich in love. His compassion rises like the sun from the heavens, high above. Great is his love for everyone. Bless the Lord, oh my soul. Every heart be given him praise. As far as the east from the west, he has carried my sins away. Bless the Lord, oh my soul. Let his mercy cover the night. From everlasting to everlasting, his kingdom rules in light. Justice for all who are oppressed. He made his ways known to Moses, his acts to the children of Israel. As a father has compassion on the children that he loves, so the Lord shows compassion to the ones who fear his name. He remembers we are dust. Our days are like the grass, but his mercy never fades. His faithfulness will last. Bless the Lord, oh my soul. Every heart be given him praise. As far as the east from the west, he has carried my sins away. Bless the Lord, oh my soul. Let his mercy cover the night. From everlasting to everlasting, his kingdom rules in light.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to Friday. Welcome to Friday. We made it to the end of the week. Good morning. I see the market bouncing right now. How's everybody doing this morning? We're going to go ahead and take a look at the market. We're going to open in prayer, and we're going to rock and roll and get started. Father, we honor you this morning. Lord, I pray that you'd give us direction. You give us clarity on the market. Lord, I thank you that you have all wisdom and understanding. You said that if we lack wisdom, to ask, and you give generously. So today we ask for wisdom. We ask for understanding. And I pray a blessing over everyone here, that they would be blessed in every way. In Jesus' name. And everyone said, amen, amen. All right, I'm going to finish this apple, and then we're going to take a look at the market. Obviously, the market sold. %20 is the red line if it's going to retrace. Up to here, that would be the retracement for 20%. I don't even know what this line's for. I'm on the continuing contract right now. NQ1, because that's how far back we have to look. It's totally fine. It's going to give us the same numbers. That's just what we're going to be on today. We're going to mark our previous day high and low. And I'm also going to mark the previous week high and low. All right, looking at where could we I think I'm going to take a bullish sentiment this morning, simply because of how much we've sold off. And it's Friday. Previous day low is sitting there. This was the weekly low that I marked, or this was the weekly low. This was from September. We just swept the September low, and now we're going for August's low. If we're going to run that, that's down here. (15-minute). We have our London high, which would be 4 a.m. 2:15. It'd be way up here. We'll go ahead and mark that. Sorry I haven't said hi to the chat or anything. We're going to get these things done here real quick. And then we have midnight open that we have to mark here. That was referenced nicely. And then we have an opening range gap sitting right here. Oops. That's not what I want. What's up, Lewis? Canny, good morning. Sorry I haven't said hi. Except tax. Okay, I'm interested. Like I said, I'd like to see longs. I'm not opposed to the 930 model here this morning. We'll see where it wants to go. Okay, here we go. So let's, we are rebalancing at this 1 minute fair value gap. We're sitting at these equal highs. We'll see if it wants to reach a little bit lower here. Go ahead and mark out our 930 level. We have an internal sweep of liquidity. So if we're going to still run lower, this is where we run these lows right now. So this, I would consider this an internal sweep of liquidity in line with a breaker right here. If we are going to go lower and we're going to run down for these levels way down here and we're just going to continue to sell off, this is where it would happen. What I would look for is a breaker tag either at this low right here or this body low. So something like that, and I would participate in it. But I like this internal sweep. I like the breaker there. I don't want to ignore that. I would like to see higher prices, but it's not giving that right at the moment. But if it's just going to go straight down, I'm not going to take it. Yes, I do. I use the market maker sell model and buy models. Oh, don't give me that. no candle look. That's annoying. I'm assuming there's a fair value gap in here. I think this is the first presented fair value gap. I'm waiting. I would like it to come back up and tag that before it runs these lows, and that's when I'd get in. I don't think it's going to give me it though. Yeah. All right, so we're running lower right now. Just no entry for that short. You could have taken the turtle soup here. You could have tried to take it off this breaker right there. That was already tagged. I didn't. I was going to wait for the secondary breaker and the first presented fair value gap. It didn't give it to me. The 5 minute had 2 5 minutes in here. Just it didn't look attractive to try to take a short somewhere in here. 3 minute, did we have another opportunity? 3 minute, we had a 3 minute here. 4 minute. Yeah, we didn't really have any, unless I was just to get in the trade, which you can. I mean, the most important thing in trading is not necessarily the model you trade, but making sure you're on the right side of the move. So this was the right side of the move. We just didn't take anything. The reason why I try to stick with my entry models is because it prevents more impulsive trading. It prevents impulsive trading. The 930 model, I came out green. But the reason why I don't trade, that's why I don't just take entries, because I found myself, and you probably have seen me do it on stream, is sometimes I'll just click the button to get into a trade, and that can happen a lot. So if I have a model that I follow, it prevents me from taking unnecessary risks, which also means I miss out on trades. Okay, 70% retracement comes up to be the first presented fair value gap. It's still attractive to me to look at that as going lower. I need to get the tunes on. Tunage. I need tunage. Tunes. promise that they comfort me. All right, so how do I want to handle this? I think what I want to do is take, I do not want to take the first stab. I think there's a chance that we just push right through here and we just run higher. If that's the case, we could take the inversion to go long after this sweep of liquidity, or we wait to see if it fails. If it fails, then we can look at running lower. I don't know why I'm missing a candle here, to be honest with you. So you're telling me there's a chance? The problem is I don't have a downside target. Sure, this could be it, but I don't know. I feel like there's better upside targets, to be honest with you. And if this 15-minute candle closes with a big wick down here, that looks more attractive to go long, right? I mean, this probably could give us 10, 20 points. But I'm thinking of the long. Share screen. Why is it not showing? Accounts, Chrome, executions. Oh, look at the reaction. Not gonna lie, I want a long. I do. I think I want the long. I'm watching this fair value gap right here. I want to see it find support, and I think we can go long from it. We already did tag it once, so I want to see it react and move higher here, act as a failure swing here, and see if it wants to go higher. Everybody thinks it's going short, and I think that's why I'm tempted to want to do this. I get my screen up? I'm trying to share my screen and it's not working. Got a new 15-minute candle here in 25 seconds. It'd be nice to see this wick left. Why can't I get this on? I'm trying to get this on, guys. I'm trying to get this on. Come on. I am long. That's why I'm trying to get it on. I'm going to sell. Oh, what the heck? I'm not long anymore. Oh, man. Okay. I meant to only sell one contract. So I'm fixing that. All right. I'm in with one contract and I don't know why I can't share my screen. Let's go to the original. Let's go to the OGs. Oh, see, it's not even showing up there. I'm trying to get it. It's not working. All right, so I'm long. Let's just do it here. My position right now, because I had to sell, I accidentally sold both contracts. I re-entered. My stop loss is here. We're looking for highs. We'll go for that high right there. My original position was down here. Closed above the first presented fair value gap. Absolutely be looking for the highs. That's what I initially want, is us to hit these highs. We'll just move this over here. I'm not going to sell. I'm going to see how high this could go. Or stop me out. If we retrace, we could go back up to the previous day low. That would be cool. That'd be a nice big trade. But for sure the hourly. That seems like the logical place to target, is that hourly fair value gap. Hourly fair value gap is sitting at 690. All right, I think that's logical. There could be. There could be crazy liquidity. I don't know how high it wants to go. I mean, I think it could reasonably go to the previous day low. I anticipate it coming back down to this fair value gap. We want it to hold. That's really what we want to do. If it's gonna stop, I'm not gonna move my stop. If it's gonna stop me out, I'll let it, because I'm already green and I don't want to lose all that profit. All right, so stop out there. So I'm still green. Try to get this on the screen. I don't know why it's not working. Sorry about that. So the way I would treat this would have been one sold in profit, the other would have been at break even. That's what it would have come out to be. So I'm treating this as one trade for me because I accidentally sold out of both positions. And then I just re-entered and set my stop at where my entry was. That's not good, Ryan. Applesauce. I'm eating applesauce. This is my breakfast. Do we got news? I think somebody said we did. $10 revised consumer sentiment. Revised, so it's already come out. Or just revising the numbers like they always do. NQ and gold are not positively correlated. They should be inversely correlated. But gold has gone so high that it doesn't surprise me if it goes down. Same with silver. And if Bitcoin gets down, if it gets down here to the 50s, I'm probably going to buy some more. I have no idea, Ryan. If we're getting a sharp drop like this, we're going to get a sharp reaction to the upside. And so we can play a part of that reaction if it gives it to us. I would, if I'm guessing, I would rely on Tradevate, not TradingView. Tradevate is the broker. There's 10 o'clock. All right, if this closes green, I'm pretty sure that's going to be our low. I'm going to call this the low. I'm going to call this the low. This also would be a 4-hour sweep of liquidity. Let's see if it gives it to us, or if it's going to keep going. I mean, that's why does it look so much larger? On NQ or on MNQ, it says it's 40 points. Well, let's see. %, is sitting right here at the low. We'll see what we do when we get up to there. The 550 level. After that dive, it seems like to have a hard time going up. Yeah. Maybe just consolidating too, to do something later. Yeah, that whole thing with Trump making that announcement that he has a deal together, there was like apparently a bunch of orders waiting to go long. And so a lot of people think there is insider trading that happened as a result of that announcement. It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, Trump's probably going to take care of the people that invested millions and millions of dollars into his campaign. He's always talked about taking care of friends. Yeah. It wouldn't be surprised. It's a simple phone call. Hey, we're gonna be we're not gonna do anything right now at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. We're not doing anything. Yeah, I would like. We got a 5-minute fair value gap here and here. We got a 15-minute fair value gap here. It's small, but there's a fair value gap right there. Especially with 10 o'clock. I think after, once you have a 10 o'clock wick like that, I think it stays for a little bit. I've been wrong, but I think we'll reach up to at least 50%. Potentially even the swing low up here. Well, I told you guys what I thought. I've said it like 3 or 4 times. I took a trade and I've already closed it. But I took a trade based on this wick. I mentioned it 3 times. I took it off screen because I can't get it on screen, but I'm not going to say, hey everybody, I'm going long right now. It's not one of my trade models. But I've seen this happen so often, where you get a sweep of liquidity and 10 a.m. is the low. It also is a sweep of a 4-hour. Those are the 2 things that I look for. So I went long when we dipped back down into this volume imbalance. And then I sold it when we hit this low right there. But it's not one of my models, and it's extremely heavy. Half the chat saying we're going lower. I don't know how high it wants to go. That's why I already sold it. So I marked out this low right here. It looks like the bodies are respecting you. Look how that body's just respecting that. I really would like to see it reach up to this inversion and a breaker right here. My guess is the move back up is going to be high resistance. It's going to be the slow chop. I don't think we're going to get this just boom, just straight through the roof. I think it's going to be this high resistance chug higher. So if you are looking at trying to get in on a long, you want to get in on the retracement lower and then set your stop at a swing low underneath it to protect yourself. Paul, didn't you just say we were going down to 23,430? But I thought you just said it's not gonna go. It's not coming back down. I got you. Let's do a Fibonacci retracement. Let's see if this what this measures out to be. .5. There's one standard deviation right there. There's equilibrium tagged. Lord, keep me humble. Sorry, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at the statement. Hey, you do have to have confidence to trade. That is for sure. You do have to have confidence to trade. I'm sorry, but I'm his favorite. Yeah, I took what did I take? I took a long right here, anticipating that we saw the low. I sold both contracts by accident here. So I re-entered one contract and set my stop at the break-even point I had before and got stopped out in profit. So that was a green trade. And then we made this low right here and I took a small long right here to this low. Not knowing if it was going to want to go higher or not, or just consolidate. Uh-oh. I have music playing that I don't think I'm supposed to have placing. I do this all the time. It runs out of music. It runs out of the song, and then it goes to some other song. I think we are officially out of the consolidation. Here's our weekly chart. Take a look at this. This is our high from December 24th before we had our correction. Follow the line. We just ran it. Level being 25.75. So we swept this low down here. Yeah, I think it's safe to try to just take shorts. Yeah, this is the daily. I mean, this has been absolutely horrible. Thankfully, this right here was easy to trade, but this got difficult. This was difficult for me. This has been difficult for me. That's that constant back and forth. If you take a look at the weekly, we have a weekly fair value gap sitting here. I don't know if we reach it today, but I think that's where we're going to go for sure. I feel like these wicks are saying, hey, we're going to drop so fast. And it's going to be like that. That's how I'm feeling. Okay, so we hit an order block here. 15-minute order block. No, 5-minute. 30-minute. 10-minute. 4-minute. It looks better on the 4-minute. So we hit this 4-minute order block. Right there. 50%. Let's see if it wants to make a lower low. We still got 25 minutes before the macro, 20 minutes before the macro. Like I said, I think we're doing this, but we're making our way higher. But I think we're going to have these drops like this because why? Everybody thinks it's going short. So it's going to show these aggressive down close candles to induce sellers to then trap them. But at the same time, it might roll over. I just wouldn't take a short here. I'd want to take a short here. I'll look at taking a short if we can get back up to this 70% level. This breaker. The first presented fair value gap area. This is probably where I'll look at taking a short. It's not the bottom. Why is it the bottom? How do you know it's the bottom? I think that's the flaw. That's the flaw that you cannot fall into, because I've done it so many times. Assuming you know where the low is. You're assuming that it can't go lower. I can't tell you how many times I've assumed that it can't go lower, and guess what it does? It goes lower, my friends. Now, the only thing I think it won't go lower at this exact moment is because we gave a 10 a.m. wick down here. So I'd be looking at the rejection block. Consider the rejection block right here. If it can't get below if it can't close below the halfway point of this wick, I'd say it's probably not going to run this low right now, but it could run it later. You mean, why not take after the retracement up? You have less stops. Timing. I'm number one, I'm already green. Number two, the time right now is 9:29, 10:29. I'll probably wait till 11 o'clock unless the 10:30 model gives us something to work with. But this, honestly, I mean, this is a low risk long right here, in my opinion. I'm not taking it because I'm not taking everything that I say that I'm looking at. I won't do it. If we close a candle under here, that's when I'd say let's get out. Nathan, is that how it? Natanya. The reason is if you do the N1 and NQ1 contract, you don't have to switch charts. You can keep all of your charts and boxes from months and months ago. If you do it on the contracts, you got to change it. You'll be changing every 3 months. I'm on NQ1 because we're so low. I need to look further back and there's just not enough data. Yeah, if you're on NQ1, you don't have to switch. It will switch. It will move the data for you, but your charts and your numbers will be different. So you'll find when they switch contracts, your fair value gap right here is going to look off. It's not going to be at the right spot. But price will be the same, yeah. What's up, Steph? How are you? Doing great. Doing my favorite thing in trading. Sitting and waiting. Good thing I love it so much because we do it so much. Patience given by God. Yeah, it's just doing this slow grind right now. Hopefully in about 15 minutes, we'll see if it wants to do something. Marius, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Remember this. Remember the phases of price. The phases of price. Phases of price are expansion and then consolidation. My guess is we're entering consolidation. You can still trade it doing the ranging. But I just got a feeling we're gonna be we're consolidating. I could be wrong. I mean, I really don't like the back and forth candles right here. They're just overlapping. There is a breaker right there to the downside. No, we haven't done it. How many likes do we got? Sorry, thank you for mentioning that. I'm sitting here just not thinking. Okay, all right, people. 31. Let's double that. Let's get 32 likes. 62 likes. Yeah, we'll do that in a second. Hit the like button for me, though. Once we hit 62 likes, we'll do our daily affirmation. I've been trying to get this screen up, and it's not working. You would think. There it is. It ran lower. Once we hit 62, I have the daily affirmation. We're in Psalms today. All right, 5 minutes till the macro time. You know, to be honest with you, that weekly fair value gap is not that far away. That little hit of midnight open looks really nice. Look at this. Tag of midnight open, sweep of liquidity, close back down here. Your entry would have been there at 403. Close below there, comes back up into the inversion. Trade right there. That's waiting for us. So the breaker. What is a breaker? Well, let's look at what happened here. I wouldn't have taken this. The main qualification for a breaker is a sweep or purge of liquidity. This one did not. And they can still form in a continuation model when it hits a order block or hits a fair value gap. But just, so let me find something that's a little clearer. Here you go. This is as clean and specific as it can possibly get. Here's a breaker. High, low, higher high, sweeps liquidity here, hits an order block over here, runs lower, leaves that low right there, leaves that low, and then comes back up to the low of the breaker right there. When we enter and hit this point right here, the reason why it comes back up to this level is this level right here induced longs. So people were going long. But then what happened? Price aggressively moved against them. So they're negative right here. They're negative all in here. So when price comes back up to that point where they got long, they sell their positions, giving liquidity for those sellers that are going short. And then what does it do? It left that low, and then it targets that low there. There you go. That is the full breakdown of a breaker. If you like that, hit the like button so we can hit 62 and then we can do our daily affirmation. Por favor. Can I say that again? Can you start over from breaker? When you first said breaker, can you start there, please? All right, we hit our number. We can do our daily affirmation. Today's affirmation is based on Psalms chapter 23, verse 6. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. This is the verse that we are basing it off of. And here is, I need to open it. Did I not get in here? There we go. All right. Surely his goodness will follow us all the days of our lives. That is the verse. I live with confidence in the goodness of God in every area of my life. His goodness surrounds me, leads me, and follows me everywhere I go. We say these, we share these affirmations so that you can have affirmations that resonate with you. Maybe this one resonates with you. Maybe it doesn't. If it does, I encourage you to take it as your own and speak it over yourself. Look into a mirror. Say this over yourself. I live with confidence in the goodness of God, knowing he is good to me. He is a good father. He cares for all of my needs. In every area of my life, he provides. He sustains. He refreshes. His goodness surrounds me. He leads me. And it follows me everywhere I go. I pray this blesses you guys as you go into your week, that you would see the goodness of God practically in your life. Amen. All right, so we are in the macro time now. We have an inversion to the upside. I like that sweep. Well, I would tell you that I would have probably done something sooner if I was not reading the affirmation. It's okay. I would have taken the inversion right here. I wasn't looking at the chart. I was talking about our affirmation. Sorry, I need to remove that, don't I? All right, I'm going to take a long right there. See if it holds. Long was based on the 50% and basically this breaker that we didn't quite reach, but 50% was around there. Let's see if it holds. See if I can get this screen up there. I don't know why I can't get it up here. I've tried multiple times. Yeah, it's not working. So I got in long here. All right, look at here, Brian. Look at these lower moves, okay? Here's your move lower, immediately goes higher. It goes lower, 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 goes higher. Goes lower, and then look what we do. Right after we go lower, we consolidate. We consolidate, and then we get this wick right here. This wick is the secret. That wick right there. That is what is communicating that we are going higher, temporarily at least. We run the low, but we don't displace. We consolidate, and then we give an aggressive move that fades, and then we aggressively go the other way. If I was not talking about my affirmation, I would have gone long right here. That's where I would have went long. And I would have targeted this high and this high right here, and I would have sold it right there. So, assuming I got in at the close, that would have been 43 handles. I 100% would have taken that trade. I took a trade like that exactly yesterday. I told you guys, these trades are amazing. Where was that trade? I'll show you. What time was it? Thursday. Right here. Here's the wick. We sweep a low, and we aggressively inverse a target. I sell at the high. You sell at this first swing high. And then it never went back up there. But these will always, if there's only one fair value gap in this price leg, after it inverses it, it runs for the liquidity that's above it. Music is on. I'm totally fine. I'm good. Contentment. Contentment, my friend. I have my level set at 571. That's where my level's at. I'm going to move my stop to break even. My entry is at 487. Right around here. This is not a bad place to sell. If we're going to continue to make lower prices and we're in this downtrend, we may not get these highs. I like these highs. They're relatively equal. And we have some imbalances above it that I think we might want to reach towards. That's why I moved my stop to break even. And I'm going to let it play out, see if it can reach it. But I'm not going to move my target. I'm going to keep it at 571. 571 is the breaker right here. We didn't make equal, we made equal highs. I don't like that wick. It did almost inverse a fair value gap here. Technically it did. I might get stopped out at break even here. I think I might close this. I am going to close it. We inversed this fair value gap and created an order block here with a large wick. I'm going to take the profit. I'll slap myself if we run back all the way up there. It reversed at 50%. No, it didn't. We're going to wait and see if I made a good decision or bad decision. It was a logical decision. was it emotional? I really don't like how we made equal highs with the wick. I don't like how we closed on that and inversed it. This is a trade I would take. And if I was taking that trade, it would be all the way down to this low right here, because it's an inversion. So that's the swing low. So I'm anticipating it's going to come all the way down to there, and it could stop me out. That's how I'm viewing that. Why don't I mark the last fair value gap with the wick included? Because I just didn't. You're talking about this fair value gap right here that we ran into. So the inversion to the downside, I'm going to call that played out. Right there. So seeing this right here is literally what we saw down here, and I would have taken that trade. So why would I hold against this? I'm not going to. Now, do we hit this low? I don't know. Honestly, I want it to hit my target because it will affirm to me that I had the right idea. Obviously. But even still, yeah, I mean, I could see it hold right here. It ran the liquidity like I thought it was going to. I was just so close to my target. I was like, it could just wick me out because my entry was above this low. It wasn't at the low. And I moved my stop to break even. I could have moved my stop lower, sure. would I have been stopped out there? My entry was at 87 on ES or on Inc. I wouldn't have been stopped out yet. There's the stop out right there. Hey, I'm not saying I have it all figured out. That's certainly not the case. We've missed trades, but I'm just saying, I don't know why. If I was willing to take this trade right here, which this is the exact same thing the other direction, and it's in line with the higher time frame move. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. Now, I could see this fair value gap holding. It's a 70% retracement. I don't mind it. We have the equal highs now. Should we try again? Nah, I want to be done. It's Friday. I want to be done. I'm green on all my accounts. I'm going to be done. Do it! Do it! It didn't hit the... I want it to come right to the middle. I want it to come lower. Now this is a beautiful wick. If this turns, or if this candle, excuse me, turns into a wick and closes inside this fair value gap, that's not bad. Excuse me. Did it inverse it? No, it did not. Yeah, I'm not touching it. All right, guys, I'm gonna be done. It could keep going lower. I'm going to walk away. I'm going to secure my profits, be grateful for what was given to me, walk in contentment, and call it a day there, folks. Well, God bless. Stay safe. We'll see you guys all next week. Take care. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.